set to go. Young Wei Koo ready to do the honors. And off we go on EA Sports. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Now a play fake. Breeze. And right away, he lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Looking long for Thomas. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play. Breeze finding Thomas. 41 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. And the Falcons are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Throwing on second and long. Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. It got his man complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Now Breeze lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So as they take it over, we step aside. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And now following the safety, they'll have the football with a chance to take the lead as they begin following the free kick with a 1st and 10. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Kamara. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Play action. Breeze. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. Breeze to throw for it on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. Off the play fake, Vick. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. To try again after the sack. Vick. And this will be caught by Edwards. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Throwing, Vick. It's Edwards again. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave. Embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
They'll run with Patterson, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out as his guys are able to extend their lead. And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it. And then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it. But I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. On play action, now Breeze. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Kamara. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Breeze going to try and throw on 3rd down. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Now Breeze. Looking long for Thomas. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Now Patterson to start the drive. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The play over before it really got started thanks to Pete Werner. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Vick. Throw right side caught by Ridley. And some room to roam now. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Vick to throw it. Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty. Another completion there, and what a big moment in a young quarterback's life, that first NFL start. And Charles, obviously they want him to win games, but if they're looking at him under a microscope in this first month or so, what do you think they're hoping to see from it?
Well, for every question they'll have for him, they should have for themselves as a coaching staff, because it's not just how quickly can he learn the offense, it's what they can teach him, right? How can he build a relationship with his receivers? And, of course, how open is he to learning? And, of course, how open are they to giving him things that he can put in place on the field?
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. He'll get it inside the 20 and all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. It's a gain of 34.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. To throw, it's Breeze. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Saints are back within a score. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is down to 4. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On play action, Vick. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Fans, a reminder, coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando for highlights and analysis and scores from around the NFL here in this opening weekend.
Let's put the coach to work.
Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. So after the INT, it's Breeze. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Breeze. He'll let this go for the end zone. And, oh, that would get a wind-up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Breeze to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On second down, Kamara. And some space here. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Breeze now. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Will Lutz, who went to college a stone's throw from here at Georgia State, comes on for the field goal attempt. Pass complete. Now race for the marker. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Saints will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. A big play there just before halftime, and even 40 yards.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
That's going to be caught by Pitts. Touchdown! Kyle Pitts, as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I'll guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. 1st and 10, it's Patterson. And able to use his stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain. A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He wanted that end zone, powerful running, but he couldn't quite get there.
And that's going to really make him upset. And right now, there's no way he's letting a coach take him out of the game. He's going to...
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Cordero Patterson. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
And pretty good running as he'll be close to a 1st down at the Falcons' 29. 95 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Bree's going to go on 4th down. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. To throw is Breeze. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within 1 score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. A solid stiff arm. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Out of the gun, a run with Patterson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Vick now. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the second half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time, because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And
as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available, because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Man open, here is Jones. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10, marking down at the 9. To throw, Vick. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game. He has, percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On 2nd and goal, Vick. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Cameron Jordan in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day. Vick, 3rd and goal. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the Saints will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range. You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on, because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now those went by the wayside. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. Well, let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder, because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield. They'll start with the option, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Vic readies to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are right back in this football game. Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ball game.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Breeze. There's Chris Olave. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here.
The ball is out. Kamara fumbled it. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. Again, it's Breeze. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
The receiver factor at Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned lastly they need another defense breaker in their receiver room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed and a history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets them the first down.
Looking long for Thomas. Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done. Get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Forced out to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing, Vic. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 101 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Well, so much for that possession.
Yeah, I think he tried to do a little too much there, partner. He tried to keep it himself. End up getting buried in the backfield, and that brings up 4th down.
They'll go for it. It's Breeze. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is going to have the Saints first down. It's a gain of 12 on 4th. Kamara try the right side. And he loses the football a second time. And the Falcons grab it. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10.
A right side run with Patterson.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It was Cameron Jordan who came in and got him.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Vick steps away to his left. Looking downfield for Jones. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
And the tough thing is when he goes back and reviews the film, he'll see that he already escaped the pocket. He could have gotten more himself by using his legs, and that might have been the better choice there instead of challenging the zone. A miscalculation on his part, and he pays for it with the interception.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Now on 2nd and 13. Breeze. Pass complete, Graham. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Now Breeze. Trying to lay one up deep. And incomplete on the deep ball. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw, Breeze. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there are going to take this to about the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Kamara up the middle. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown late in the game. They look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week one. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for New Orleans, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.